Here's an overview of the class content. So it's broken up into 4 lessons. The first lesson I call Unity and Wholeness. So this is bringing us from that kind of predominant, disconnected worldview perspective back into a connected worldview perspective, which is one of the major aims of the Resonance Academy. So this is an introduction to the Space Memory Network, which is, the Space Memory Network is a subject that has been developed by my colleague, physicist Nassim Haramein, in which I've worked with him to describe or elucidate natural ordering mechanisms for driving the kind of self-organization that we see in the physical systems around us. And then, of course, the formation of such oftentimes beautiful order or complex fractal structures, etc. So we'll look at some of the most elementary and basic characters of the physical world: space, information, geometry, time, and how complex dynamics can arise from simple principles. Simple principles, though, that produce an infinite diversity via non-random natural ordering and organizational influences. So, you know, it would seem like it's complex, but at its heart, it's simple. And we'll look at that and how that can be. We will see how the modern understanding of these principles, from quantum field theory to general relativity and holofractographic physics, enables completely new and profound methods of understanding the universe and our place in it. In lesson 2, I call this time and morphogenesis, because at this time we've introduced the Unified Space Memory Network, we've described it, we've got a good understanding of it, and now we're going to look at the entanglement nexus of the Space Memory Network. So we will take the concepts from lesson 1 and apply them in a complete picture of the universe. So here we're really going to be unifying principles from cosmogenesis to consciousness. And we'll investigate some of the key characters and principles at play in engendering the intricate order, organizational synergy, and dynamic evolution and development we observe in the universe around us. These are all things that I believe need a scientific description, and which I think are lacking. And hence we have all these quote unquote hard problems, unresolved problems of science, you know. So how do we get this intricate order when if things were random, the last thing you would expect, if things were based on randomness, the last thing you would expect is, you know, the emergence of intricate order and organizational synergy. So there's kind of functional organization of the elements comprising the universe. You know, it's not just that they're organized in a particular way, it's that there is a function to it, and that kind of engenders a dynamic capacity for dynamic evolution. So in lesson 3, now that we've seen the entanglement nexus of the Space Memory Network, which at this time we've kind of will mostly have looked at general physical systems, but here we're going to jump into the biological system in particular, and we're going to see how the biological system interface or couples with this underlying information dynamic and impetus. So the holographic information nexus is regarding sentience and memory encoding in cellular and macromolecular systems. An examination of the cellular components involved in information processes related to awareness, consciousness, and potential coupling with the space memory network will all be explored. We'll look at the cell and organism not as an isolated entity, but as the connected being it is. And therefore how the reception and transmission of information engender its animation, but as well feed back into the world, the physical universe, to influence and inform physical processes and events. So we're going to look at not only the way that this kind of universal sentience is being accessed or refined, channeled and refined by the biological system, but also how it feeds back all the information that it's processing into the structure of the space memory network. So in lesson 4, this is where we're going to get into one of the real big hard problems, one of the real big questions, and that's consciousness. What is consciousness? This is, I also like to call this an examination of sentience in the living universe. Because at this point in the course, we've established that the universe is a living system, because it's not that you have inanimate matter and then life. The same principles unite both those seeming domains. So we will investigate the unified physics of the entanglement nexus of awareness. And I think that this is going to be a really interesting and exciting area of inquiry and exploration for us. So we'll be looking into perspectives on the nature of consciousness and offering solutions to some of the challenges of a science of consciousness.